We're going to create something that works, and we're going to make it the best, and we'll continue to improve it. And that's how OPGAL is always going to be. Ready? Start?
Yeah.
Action.
Good morning. Welcome to our new podcast with our CEO, Ilan Waldman.
Good morning.
Good morning. Today I will be your host. I'm Ram Hashmanai. We've been around an established company for 40 more years, and we are now trying, in the face of competition, to get into starter mode, crash development of our new products. And Ilan, the first question is, how do we make the transition from an established company to a startup mode tech company in the oil and gas industry?
I think it's a very good question, and I think that's one of our biggest challenges right now is changing the DNA, because OPGAL has been around for over 40 years. It's been owned previously by mostly military defense companies that targeted us to work towards military equipment. And changing now our focus to the industrial only and no longer working with military requires a different mindset altogether. We're innovating. We're not taking projects that are tailored made already and just building them. And I think changing this DNA is one of our biggest tasks and challenges right now, definitely in the last few months and probably in the next year to 2 years.
There is also a race to get fast to the market. It's not just
absolutely
do good and innovative developments. It's a matter of time. It's time sensitive.
I think that's the main thing is time. I think that we kind of we don't have much time. I think the competition is there, but I think the key is innovation. I think that it's very easy to take a product and to copy paste it and sell it. And we were able to do it. It's not hard for us to order a FLIR camera, open it up and say, let's copy it and put our name on it. But that's not something that's interesting, not to me, not to you, not to OPGAL. So we're innovating. And when you're innovating, sometimes things take time.
It takes time. And also you need to sometimes educate your customers about your new development. And this leads me to my next question about this podcast series. Why do we do it? Why do we take a role of educator and not just technology developers?
I think that that's exactly what makes us different than the competition. I think that we put in a lot of work in the last 15 years or so with our optical gas imaging cameras. Work not just selling, but also being a part of the decision making in regulations and in companies. A lot of what we call ant work that you don't see the results right away. A lot of effort that was being put in and is still put in. And I think we need to continue to do that. I think that we're never going to be a company that just sells. I think we need to be a part of the industry. We need to educate the industry. We need to be educated.
We need to listen.
And we need to definitely listen. And I think that's why it's important. It's important. We do a lot of webinars. When we go to conferences, we don't just go to booths, to showcase our product, but we also are a part in sessions and things like that. You know that better than me. You're a big part of that. And I think that that's what makes us different. And I think that at the end, the customers will realize that when you're selling a product, we're not just selling a product that we copied or off the shelf. We're putting together a platform of products, of technology that the industry wants. And you can only do that by being more than just a seller in the industry. You can only do that if you're a part of the decision making, you're part of the regulatory decisions, if you're a part of the company decisions. And I think that's what makes us different. And, that's one thing that, we have competition. Today, we have a lot of competition. One competitor that we have, obviously, is FLIR, that we don't like to use their word around here, but we do it. We have to give them a lot of credit because they were there with us throughout all these years, not just selling a camera, but out there influencing decision making, showing that new technology, helps the industry achieve results quicker.
And
And
maybe I will add to that. It's not just listen. We are not here for the technology's sake. We are here to solve problems of our customers and make their life easier in the world of emission monitoring and leak detection. And so
we're here to innovate. You can't innovate without also being a part of.
But innovate in keeping in mind that we're here also to solve problems, real problems of the future. And what are the challenges in this technology innovation for the oil and gas industry? What are the challenges?
I think the biggest challenge, excuse me, I think the biggest challenge is convincing customers to make the switch. I think it's a very, I don't know if old school is the right terminology, but it's an industry that takes a long time to convince to switch over to new products,
to new approaches,
to new thoughts. Look at the OGI, how long it took for OGI to be accepted as a part of the regulation in countries.
Yeah, I've been there from the beginning. In 2005, 2006, we made conferences in the US at EPA, and it took until 2024, more than 20 years to get Quad B, Quad C established in the US.
And how much work was done to do that?
Yeah, it was, but we are selling cameras much before regulation. We need to think about what is the next thing. We are talking about Appendix K and the new regulation for the portable camera, but the future probably is with mobile apps, with
automation. I think it's very clear that the future is automation. I think that handheld cameras, for example, are still a thing, and they're very important, and they'll probably will be for another.
And now they're regulated
10 years or so. But I think that the future is absolutely automation, and I think that that's at the end what's going to set companies like ours aside from competitors. That you need to innovate. You need to think, what is the next thing? You need to be already, your thoughts need to be already 2-3 years ahead, and you need to implement them. And that's one of the biggest challenges right now, is how do you do that? How do you already start implementing things that you're thinking about? You as the technology manufacturer are already 5 years ahead, and you need to sit with these people, and they need to understand what you're saying. It's not easy.
It's not easy. It's innovation and education go side by side with each other all the time. I've been in this field for 40 years now, and I know that things that I was thinking 40 years ago, it took so long to get it into the market.
And that's why, so when you ask, are these podcasts important? Then that's exactly why they're important, because you already need to share your thoughts. You already need to get feedback.
Yeah.
You need to work with the people who are on the ground to understand what they're looking for. You have to work with the regulators to understand what are they going to do, what is their approach in the next 10, 15, 20 years ahead. And it's difficult. It's a lot of work that you don't see the results. And, and that's one of the biggest things, is to invest exactly in things like this, where you don't see results. You definitely don't see business out of it anytime soon.
Yeah, so let's get into the details of our innovation. We launched recently our new mobile app to control and stream the camera. Can you tell us why is it so important for the workflow of the field technician?
So this app, I think, is probably one of the coolest features we've added in a while. It literally enables you to completely control the whole process of the inspection using the OGI camera with the app. So if before you needed to push the buttons and to flip screens or to look, you can now put the camera on a tripod, connect to the app via either a phone, tablet, and see everything on the screen, switch palettes, record, control the whole camera. But that's not even, that's just half of it. I think
This is the basic stuff.
yeah, the nicest feature of the app that we just added, and this is really exciting, and also the way we thought about it, how we just spoke about it, and we said, why don't we do that? Is the streaming to a third party, where if before you needed to upload videos and send them and report them, today I can inspect. I can be in a site. I can be in a refinery in Houston. I can inspect, I see a leak, and I can share it right away live in real time with my colleagues if they're in Dallas, if they're on vacation in Thailand, wherever they are, and they can see what I'm seeing and they can provide feedback, and I can continue my inspection without having to wait until I get their feedback.
And you can do online training for Appendix K actually required to have so many hours walkthrough with a senior operator and a junior operator, and until the junior operator can be certified to do on his own. But now the walkthrough, the site doesn't need to be on site. The senior operator or can be in his office.
Can be in his office at home. It can be even on another site and inspect a few sites at the same time.
Yeah. You mentioned automation. We can use drones, we can use robots, we can use fixed camera, we can use other sensors. Do you see the automation replacing the operator of cameras for leak detection and emission monitoring?
I think that it's hard to say, because at the end it ultimately comes to regulations. And as I mentioned before, the industry is a bit slow on making changes. But I think that I don't see any time soon that will happen. I think that automation is definitely the future. I think that there's going to be automated technology on sites. But I think that, at the end, AI can't do the work on its own. Algorithms can't do the work on their own. Even one type of technology can't do the work on their own. So you will need to use a combination of different ways, like AI, like algorithm, different technologies, not just OGI. OGI is not perfect.
But
OGI
eventually
has its limitations.
the person will need to make a decision.
Eventually you will need a person to make that decision. So I think there's always going to be people are always going to be important. I think that there's not going to be one thing. And at the end, when I talk about innovation is looking at the big picture. It's not just about manufacturing a product, it's understanding the whole picture. And it's using different technologies, it's using AI, but not just AI. It's using algorithm, but not just algorithm. Because at the end, you need that person in there to come and to confirm that what you're seeing is really what you're seeing. And to be able to put all these things together. I think all those things together at the end are going to create the best product. And this is, again, I'm going back to what makes us a bit different than copy pasting a product, is that we understand that this is what it's going to take. And you'll never see OPGAL technology white labeling or copy pasting. You won't see a camera that looks like our camera. You'll see other companies that use cameras like us, but you won't see our camera like another camera, because we're not going to be that company that just takes something that works and make it our own.
Reverse engineer it.
We're going to create something that works, and we're going to make it the best, and we'll continue to improve it. And that's how OPGAL is always going to be. And all of that is connected together with the podcast, with the webinar, with being, in meetings with influencers in the EPA, in the European Union, in the OGMP, in companies, major refineries, major producers. That's how our company works. That's how it's continued to work. This is what's interesting. This is what's interesting to you. I don't think you would be here if we just copy pasted products.
No.
And this is where OPGAL is going to be in the next 10, 15 years.
So yeah, we started a new journey last year, and it will be very interesting to see where we are in 5 years and what will become of this approach and this new way that we look at things and innovation and problem solving. I would like to ask you, what do you think will be if we look back 5 years from now? We look back on
Look ahead 5 years.
Yeah, if we are now 5 years ahead, and we're looking back on the 5 years, what did we solve? What problems did we solve? What
I think
what
that,
innovation? What will be our stellar innovation?
So I think that, we have a plan. We know where we're going. I think I'm not going to release the whole plan because that doesn't make business sense. But we do have a plan. I think it's a very good plan. I think we hinted kind of where we're going. But I also think that things are very dynamic.
Yeah.
And what works today or what we think will work today might not work next year. And I think that it's hard to say exactly where we'll be in 5 years. But I think for sure, OPGAL will be a much more environmental focused, known technology company, not just OGI. We kind of said that already. A trusted partner to any company in the oil and gas industry, a company that manufactures, produces, innovates high-end quality products, and a partner that companies can trust.
And a leader.
Definitely a leader.
In this market.
Definitely.
And to reach this point, I think you need to engrave in your plan huge flexibility. When every road intersection that we have here, we'll have to make decisions to take one way or another, and we need some flexibility to make changes. If we go with our plan for 5 years and we are very rigid with this plan, we will miss the opportunities to become a leader.
And that's one of the things that you asked in the beginning. What are the challenges for moving from an established company to a high-tech startup type of company? That's exactly
agility,
it.
Flexibility are keywords for that.
Absolutely. And I think we're already, I think when we started this new journey in August, until now, I think we already had so many changes in our plans and our thoughts that we understand that this is just going to be a part of it.
Yeah, at any point of time, it's whatever makes sense.
Exactly.
We need to. So thank you very much. I think we had a good discussion.
I think it's the first time that you interviewed me. I always used to ask you the questions. It's nice.
Okay. Change. That's because Michael is in Germany.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.